the high altitude region of the Rocky Mountains has been one of the most alien places that I've ever seen. As you move up in elevation, the vegetation changes. Those beautiful towering trees disappear, and you're left with low, shrub-like plants and flowers. Covering 415 square miles and sitting on top of the Continental Divide, the park has some of the highest altitudes of all the national parks in the nation. Some rising up to 14,259 feet. The park receives 4.5 million visitors every year and is one of the most visited parks in the national park system. The Ute people are the oldest and continuous residents of the Colorado and Rocky Mountain National Park region, living in the higher elevation areas during the summer and lower elevations in the winter. As the original stewards of this land, we can learn a lot from their teachings and approach to taking care of this national park. Like all the national parks, the Rocky Mountain National Park continues to be adversely affected by climate change. Bad air quality, like pollution, harms the health of wildlife and wildflowers that are unique to the tops of these mountains. Invasive species is a problem. Foreign grasses enter the park and spread across it, snuffing out unique and beautiful alpine plants. As we get hotter and drier climate weather, this will accelerate the spread of these invasive species. Changing weather patterns. The spring snow melts now almost 2 to 3 weeks earlier. This means less water during the summer for plants and animals. All the national parks will struggle with changes like these. I talked about the Smoky Mountain National Park recently and how it had similar changes and impacts. But what makes the Rockies unique are these beautiful alpine flowers. Alpine flowers are vulnerable to temperature fluctuations, which are more harsh in high elevation areas. These places are warming faster than other regions, and very specialized species like the American B2B, which live only on high rocky mountainsides, may be sensitive to even the smallest changes in the climate. Often in harsh and unpredictable environments, alpine plants are sensitive to severe fluctuations in the climate. This can impact their growth cycle, fertilization, and the conditions for small seedlings to grow. I'm a climate solutionist, and I believe since we got ourselves into this mess of climate change, we have the capacity to get ourselves out of it. I love our national parks, and they offer such a unique opportunity to engage and be close to nature. But we need these nature hotspots to nurture our personal well-being, provide for generations of the future. That's why they're so important for us to keep cherishing them and thinking about how we can mitigate the impacts of climate change within our national parks. So here are 2 ways you can help alpine plants within the Rocky Mountain National Park. So number 1, support political leaders for climate policy. In places like Colorado and Wyoming, support political leaders that have a long-time association with nature preservation and understand how climate change is impacting our most precious and beautiful places. Number 2, prevent invasive species. Give these little plants a fighting chance because it's what they deserve. You can clean your shoes and be mindful of the soil and vegetation that you bring into the park. This beautiful region needs all the support that it can get. Become a national park advocate and show your love for these natural places by supporting good hiking principles, supporting climate science, and local conservation efforts. I hope you enjoyed this stop on my tour around the United States. Don't forget to subscribe for the next video. Up next, the old growth forest of the Pacific Northwest.